Welcome to KETO's the Worst, where we believe that if done properly, a low-carb lifestyle is not only easy, but it is sustainable long-term and not at all restrictive. So today is a meal prep video, and I'm going to do the most basic meal prep that I know. It's going to be a chicken thigh recipe with some cauliflower mash. It's just chicken thighs roasted up. Then there's going to be salmon, pretty much kind of grilled, but it's just on the stove. And that's going to go along with some broccoli and cheddar. Both versions are frozen broccoli and frozen cauliflower. And then we're going to do some things on the side of that. Some of the leftover salmon is going to turn into some salmon cakes, and then some of the chicken thighs are going to turn into a chicken salad. And we're going to do the entire day's worth of food. There's going to be some breakfast cups as well, and the chia seed pudding. So it is going to be a very simple video, but it's going to be a lot more than most of my meal prep videos have been. But that's pretty much it, right? We can get started whenever I feel like it. We just have to do something. Okay, so where was I? Start with the chicken thighs right now. Preheat this to 375. Foil it down just so it's an easier cleanup later. For chicken thighs, just like to peel the skin back so you can season the actual chicken, but keep the skin on. It's just peeling it back to a corner. So this is pretty much the simple, well, everything is simple. What I want to do is season it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper. Did I put cayenne? Did you see me put cayenne pepper? I don't think I did. And smoked paprika. Do that on both sides. And then pull the skin back on and just pat it dry a little bit. Dry skin equals crust, more crusty, more crispy. Dry skin equals more crispy skin. And then just garlic salt goes on this, or garlic and garlic pepper, or just salt, or salt and pepper, whatever you like. Two things, a little bit more energy, and put this to the side because I don't think I heard that beep yet. It's not ready. So this goes there. I'm gonna prep the salmon and then keep going with this. Now the salmon could be baked as well, but I do prefer it on the stove. I just use this to season everything. I like these trays, and that's ready. 375 for 50 minutes. This is 11:10. I can't even see that time over there. So this is still a little bit frozen. This is a sockeye salmon because it's wild caught. I had it out all night. So I'm gonna season it and put it to the side for a little bit and then work on all the other stuff. Like, it's not fully frozen, but it is still kind of tough. So it doesn't bend, but kind of bends. Same thing, but this one is not gonna have cayenne pepper. It's not gonna have smoked paprika. It's actually not gonna have any of this stuff. It's just gonna be the basic three: salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Shouldn't have used this hand. Like I said, I'm gonna put this to the side for a little bit because it is a little bit still frozen. It's not all the way, so it's just like 10-15 minutes over there. And we're gonna put the skin side down, and the vegetables, breakfast. Which one comes first? We're going to at least prep the vegetables first, prep everything, and then everything will be able to go pretty fast. And for me, I believe that the better meal preps are usually mostly oven, which is why I have so many trays, and these parchment paper sheets for vegetables, right? Everything that I do on a tray is so that it's a lot easier to clean up later. Everything is frozen because it's a lot less work, and like I said, this one is about trying to keep it as simple as possible while actually still doing a lot. It's a lot easier than cutting up the cauliflower. Everything I did for the first 6 months of keto, this is pretty much what all my meal preps look like before I started this channel and before I started like venturing off into new recipes. Everything in this video has been since day 1 or day like 5 or something like that. Now, I don't know if I need 2 bags. This is always something that I debate, because if it's just me, that's 1 serving and that's 2 servings, right? That's enough. And the same thing for the broccoli, is that they shrink down a little bit once you cook them. But again, 1 serving, 2 servings. So I'm going to just do 1 bag of each. Again, this meal prep, everything you're gonna see is just for 1 person. It's for 4 days. I don't cook for 5 days because that 5th day is usually a cheat or fast day. I have other videos talking about that kind of strategy. I don't like cooking for 5 days, so Monday through Thursday is usually what I do, and then Friday is a free day depending on how I feel that week. I'm gonna season avocado oil, and then the same kind of seasoning is just keeping it basic for now, because once this cooks through, we're gonna put some cheddar cheese on top, and that will be done. And then for this one, we're gonna turn this into a cauliflower mash. And I like roasting my cauliflower when I do cauliflower mash, just because, I mean, there's no real reason. You can steam it, you can cook broccoli, cook cauliflower however you do it. But for me, kind of dries it out a little bit more than steaming it, which keeps a lot of the moisture, I guess. I'm gonna put this straight away. It should be about 20 minutes, I believe. So that's the two sides. I'm going to start with the breakfast cups. I'm gonna make 3 different flavors. Usually I would have, it's gonna be the whole carton, so 12 eggs, 3 a day. And this is what I have for each breakfast. One is gonna be pepperoni and cream cheese. The other one's going to be bacon and cheddar. And then the third one is ham and something. I don't know what other cheese I have. Maybe ham and mozzarella, ham and Swiss, ham and Gouda. This mold itself doesn't really need anything to spray on to. So I'm a fan of ham and Swiss sandwiches. This is Gruyere, which is a different type of Swiss. So this is what I'm going to use instead. And a little note is that you need to cook the bacon first a little bit because it takes a lot longer than the eggs. You could do the same with the ham, but you don't need to. It's just the bacon that needs to go in first. So that's the idea. We're just gonna make cups with this. I'm gonna put it in the oven, and then once it cooks a little bit, then we're gonna put everything else in. Next, I'm going to do my chia seed pudding because that will be about 15 minutes. So let me run through the ingredients. It uses flax milk. It's like a nut milk, but for me, I use flax milk. You can use coconut or almond, just not regular milk. 2 flavors, so one is maple cinnamon and one is chocolate. You can use a blender or like a Ninja or Magic Bullet, whatever those are called. I use a hand immersion blender to do this. So first is 3 cups of flax. This is almond butter. Now this is pretty much about 2 to 3 servings per, 2 tablespoons per. So you would do 8 tablespoons for 4 servings. In here I do the base, which is the flax, the almond butter, and the sweetener. And then we put into 2 separate shaker cups, and then that's where we put in everything else. We don't want to blend the chia seeds because you want them whole so that they can expand and absorb. All right, so sweet drops is what I use. And this is about a little bit more than a quarter, something like that. Just making sure that there's no like hard clumps in here. Now here I'm using 2 shaker cups, half and half. This I buy from Amazon. It's going to be, I think like 3 per, so 6 in each. All right, so chocolate is going to be vanilla extract and cocoa, and for cinnamon, it's going to be cinnamon and maple extract. If you don't have this, it's not important. You can just use vanilla extract or just use this by itself. So this is about a quarter. It's about 2 tablespoons for the cocoa, or 1.5, something like that, or whatever fits. And this is about 2 like a 1 1/2 teaspoons, depending on how much you like cinnamon. A little bit plus 1. And that's it. So we're just gonna shake it up and put it into its containers. This gets refrigerated for at least 4 hours, but overnight, and it's gonna be, of course, for 4 days by Thursday. That's the first thing done. All right, so just cover it up. And I tend to just stack it in the order I'm gonna have it in. Now the bacon should be ready to go. I'm gonna check on the vegetables, but we're continuing. So let me just put some of this nonsense away. This is garbage. So it's been 15 minutes. You see this is not done, but it's gonna go back for another like 20 minutes. So it's just to get it started. What are we doing right now? Layering the pepperoni. So this one is a few slices per. Okay, so if you rip it, like just do a little incision like that, then these are easier to go in. Yeah, because then you can do that and it can be like a little corner. You can push it down. So it's a little cup. All right, so that's that. And now for the ham, just wrap it up the same way that you do that. Or make it fancy, chop it up, do whatever you want, but this is kind of simple, just like that. And then it just goes in the middle. Okay, so now this is a triple cheddar. Oh, I forgot. So I don't really like that egg yolk, and since I have to cook it, I like it a little bit more runny. Because I'm cooking it for the week, I don't want to have runny eggs. So I usually just stab it a little bit, not mix it completely, but just break it so that the egg white and the egg yolk kind of mix a little bit better. You can just mix it and then pour it in if you want. Okay, so that's that. And then the Gruyere. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This goes into the oven until everything is pretty much cooked through, probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Oh, and this is why this is so important to have the tray underneath, because if you have a silicone mold and you try to bring it, it's going to be very hard to do that. Okay, so the chicken has about 10 more minutes. That just went in. The salmon can get started, the vegetables can get started. A lot of things are happening pretty fast. Right, the cheddar stays out, but all this other stuff goes in. So just going to do probably a little cleanup, but start something else. What's first? Some cheese on the broccoli, or do you want the salmon first? I want to start with the salmon. So just going to cook that with some butter, skin side down, and then clove. All right, this is that. It's not too much, it's just really a coating. And I want the cauliflower to dry out just a little bit more. Where are we right now? Chicken has about 10 minutes left. Salmon goes there. Cauliflower and that is gonna dry out a little bit. So yeah, right now I'm going to do my first cleanup and be back in a little bit. Okay, time for salmon. That's all ready. So we're gonna start with this first. Skin side down. The idea of salmon is to let it cook through about 2/3 of the way up and then flip it. So it's been there for 55 minutes, so the chicken should be good. I think I'm gonna leave the chicken for a little bit. I want the skin to be a little bit more crispy. But here is the cauliflower. So this is all this is going to get some mayo, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of mozzarella cheese inside, or cheddar cheese, whatever, and then mash it up, and that's pretty much it. And really that's all this is, right? This is pretty much done. I'm not making a full mashed potato recipe, which will have a lot more. This is just pretty much to your taste. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll put this over there. That's done. Like I said, I've made a lot more food, but this is pretty much the easiest one I know. So hopefully it does help anyone trying to get started on keto or low carb. That still has a little bit left. So we're gonna go to the next thing, which is the chicken. I guess just take it out. It's been in there for an hour now. Maybe because I was opening the door a lot. That's why it took a little longer. You can always double check. See, that says 190. This is 190. I think chicken just needs to be cooked to, like, what does this say? 165, and all this is 190. This one's 189. Nope, 200. Just gonna let these rest a little bit. I only have 3, so then 2 of them are gonna be for the extra, the little chicken salad. And I wanna cook up 2 pieces of bacon when that salmon is ready. Okay, so I don't know what those things are that's coming out the side, but I'm gonna flip this, put a little bit more butter. Just throwing fish around. But that's a good sign that when this comes up very easily, that it was ready to flip. I'm just rubbing this a little bit with butter. Okay, but when this is ready, then this will be done. Then, what else? You guys can keep going for a little bit, but this is also number 2, which is done. Cheese and broccoli. And I am just going to start to bag some of this up, because technically the chicken is ready. So let's bag that up, box it up, whatever, half and half pretty much. So while I do this, I'm actually just going to tell you that this meal prep is why I started this channel. I've spent maybe 8 months doing this, and I've picked it up, and I think this can actually help some people stick to keto and lose weight with keto, because this is the reason why I lost 70 when I started keto, is because everything was planned out, everything was ready, everything was laid out. I wasn't getting bored of it. I didn't feel like I was being deprived or restricted, and I kept switching up the meal plans. And then right now I think we're only an hour in, and we're finishing up with a lot of stuff right now. This is the meal prep that actually I've been doing for a very long time, and it's very quick, it's very simple, and you don't get tired of it at all. This is why, if you saw my shopping video, I buy a fish, a chicken, a beef, and a pork. So this is chicken and fish, and then the next time I cook, it will be probably pork and beef, or depending, it might be one of these 2, but it'll be a different cut. And this is why I like to do 2 of each in a week, so I'm not eating the same thing every day. But when we finish out the video, you'll see kind of the options that you do have laid out for you. So this kind of still needs to cool a little bit, but I'm going to take it off the grease. I just don't want it sitting in there. And for any of you, just make sure you don't put that into the sink, because it will over time clog up your sink. I'm just going to put this to the side for now until I can dispose of it normally. Okay, so I just wanted to show you one skin side up, one skin side down, and how this looks. So about half of it is going to go into our salmon cakes, and then the other is going to be split up into whatever for the week. I'm gonna put a couple of pieces of bacon down there. Let's bag this up. I don't know why I keep saying bag it. All right, so about this much seems about right. This piece looks a little smaller, a little thinner, so I'm gonna go. This is for the salmon cake. We're finishing off. I'm gonna start with something. I don't know which one yet. Why are you smoking? What's up? What's happening? The one thing is that you don't need the skin for this. So this can be used as chips or whatever, or you can have it crispy if you like it in the toaster oven or something like that. I'm just going to keep it to the side for now, and I'll put this in here. Again, you don't need the skin for this, but this is actually, like, both skins are good to eat, right? The bacon I want to put into this one, so I just need something to break this all up with. Now this one is still hot, but you try and just take the chicken off the bone, and then whatever is left, if you don't want to be that clean with it, you can just eat it. Would you look at that? Not technically burnt, but it is well done, especially the cheese. I think it looks good, but yeah, the cheese is a little bit, this one is done too much, but everything else is good. So you just have to let this kind of rest for a little bit before you try to take it out. So that will go over here again. I want to start with this one because this one is the one that needs to go back over there. So you need an egg binder, just one, some mayo. We have a bit of a problem because I was supposed to get pork rind crumbs. Wow. Oh no. But it was just right in front of my face. And here I like to put in some red pepper and a little bit of smoked paprika and cayenne. You just mix this up. Right, this I usually use with canned crab or canned salmon. I haven't done this one in a while, so hopefully I did do this right, but I'm pretty sure. And I'm just gonna form it right here in some of the bacon grease. Just a little bit more butter, just so it doesn't dry out. And then over here, right, just break it up. This one actually wasn't as crispy to be broken up like that. That is fine. Just do that with your hands. And yeah, just shred up the chicken into smaller pieces now that it's cooled a little bit. And then from here is just some mayo. I mean, I can chop it up a little bit more if I wanted to. But this is done. This can be boxed up too. The eggs can be boxed up. That just needs to get flipped, and those will be done as well. So we're pretty much done here. I need containers, don't I? I need 2 for that, 2 for that, and 2 for the eggs. So the eggs will go in the bigger ones. I need 2 smaller ones. Just so these should be done. Okay, so I can just put all 4 of those in here and put all, and then just take as I want throughout the week. And that's how they look over here. And then over here are the eggs, right? And that's how they look here, and then here. Just gonna put them over here. Then again, like I said, it will be pretty much 3 a day. This is the cream cheese and pepperoni one. This is the bacon one, bacon and cheddar. I don't think you can see the bacon. Ham and Swiss on the bottom, pepperoni in the middle, and cheddar. This goes pushed down there. Okay, so we're all here. This is the only one that didn't go into 2 containers because I don't have any more containers. So let's just set some of this stuff up. Where's this hand? That is about it for this video. This is the most basic meal plan that I currently know. This is what I've been doing for the past 18 months. Well, that's not true. This is what I was doing before I started this channel. It looked a lot like this. So to run through it real quick, this is chicken thighs with some cauliflower mash. This is some salmon with broccoli and cheddar. This is a chicken salad using the leftover chicken from here with some mayo and some bacon pieces. This are 3 different types of egg cups, some pepperoni and cream cheese, bacon cheddar, and ham and Swiss. This one is salmon cakes, using the extras from the salmon with some egg, pork rind crumbs, and mayo with some a little bit more seasoning. And now, just so you know, this took 1 hour and I want to say 40 minutes to finish all this. And it was pretty simple. Like, this is what was building to me making this channel a very long time. And this is what helped me lose the 75 pounds from keto in about like 10 months, because I was able to eat pretty good quality food that was different. So pretty much it's for 4 days. This is chia seed pudding right here. This is chocolate and cinnamon. This is what I have in the morning before I eat breakfast. Then this will be my breakfast. I will have whatever three I feel like having. Then as a snack, I'll have one of these two. So since this is chicken, if I have this for a snack, then I'll have this as the main meal a little bit later. And if I have this as a snack, then I'll have this for the main meal a little bit later, right? Salmon chicken, salmon chicken. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't think I have any more to say on it. So if you are interested in learning more about how a ketogenic lifestyle can help you and your long-term weight loss and maintenance goals, you should hit that subscribe button. And if you like this type of video, hit that like button as well. And let me know. I have a whole bunch of different types of videos on this channel. There are meal preps like this. There are some videos that, well, there's one video that I experiment with turning a regular recipe into a low carb recipes. Then I have some keto tip videos, and then I think you should have seen my very first, well, let's keep that just in case I don't do that. But I have an Instagram at Keto is the Worst. I have a website at ketostheworst.com. You can follow me there or check me out over there. And I think that's about it for this one. So